Welcome to Allan Reports TV. I'm your host, Allan Labucan from allanberryreports.com. Today we have a new installment of our In the News segment where we talk about resource companies with recent developments. But before we get started, we always like to start out with some thank yous. First of all, we use Ustream and .tv and YouTube.com. We use these services for recording our shows and broadcasting our shows and saving those shows. So for you to have a look at it later dates or while we're doing them. And so those are great websites, really easy to use. Anybody who wants to do a show online, those are great sites to work with. In addition, if you're watching the show on our website while I'm doing it, you'll notice that to the left and right of me, we have some banner sponsors. Those banner sponsors help us to be able to to bring the show to you. And if you click on their banners, it'll take you to their websites where you can go and do your own research and take a look at these companies. And then, of course, we'd also like to thank you, the viewers. If you didn't come out, we wouldn't have a lot of reasons to do the show. And so thanks a lot for coming out. And so we'll get on with today's show. Today we have 4 companies to talk about. And we'll be doing a 2-part show again. We've got one of the great things about following high-quality companies with really good projects is that they tend to do a lot of work on those projects and have a lot of good news to talk about. And so, the group that we follow, the companies that we have either in our reports or on our radar screen are really busy working, and they come out with news often. And, because they're the quality of their projects, that news tends to be pretty good news. So we got a lot of news to talk about today. If you're watching this show on our website, after the first part 1 is done, then part 2 comes on right away and starts playing. So, but if you're watching on our YouTube channel, you'd have to look for part 1 and part 2 of the shows with today's date of October the 14th, 2010. In part 1, we'll talk about Premier Gold and Victoria Gold. And then in part 2, we'll talk about Orezon and Osisko. And so we'll start here today with Premier Gold. Before I get started, I always like to do the disclosure. Premier Gold, we are a shareholder of. They're also a featured company in our Allan Reports email newsletter. We started coverage of Premier Gold on October the 3rd, 2006. Which was our 9th edition. If you look above me there, you'll notice a report section on our website, and you'll be able to find that 9th edition in there. We've also had Premier on several of our past shows here on our Ustream channel at ustream.tv. And there's a link up there that'll take you to our Ustream channel. We had them on the July 22nd and September 16th, 2010 shows. And then on our YouTube channel, again, there's a link up there where you can look for that'll take you to our YouTube channel, and you'd look for the April 27th show. So now I'm going to pull up their website. Here we are. Premier Gold's website is PremierGoldMines.com, and on their website they have a news section, and if you click on that news section, we're looking for the news release from September the 28th. In that news release, the headline from the news is that Premier Drilling expands deep gold zones at Hard Rock, 5.49 grams per ton gold across 53 meters, including 11.34 grams per ton gold across 19.5 meters. They go on in the press release that they announced the deep drilling continues to delineate significant gold mineralization in multiple horizons below historically mined zones where more than 2.1 million ounces was produced to a maximum depth of only 600 meters at the Hard Rock project in northwestern Ontario. Because of the continued success, additional drills are being added such that 11 drill rigs will be operational on the property in the coming weeks. Then they had some highlights from the drilling. Again, they reiterated the high-grade intersections in their from their headline. They talked about some of the drill results from their F zone. Again, some very good intersections. One of those holes had a 4.36 grams per ton gold across 17.8 meters. And included in that was an 8.36 grams per ton gold across 4.3 meters. And this intersection is located 300 meters west of and 50 meters below the deepest and westernmost mining. Then they talked about deep drilling in the North Zone and F Zone continues to intersect strong gold values suggesting excellent resource potential, proximal and to and below existing mine workings. There's a real good quote from Tim Toomey, who's the exploration manager for Premier, and I quote, "Our deep drilling below the historic mine workings is returning impressive results in 3 separate areas. This is very significant for the project because it confirms that the historic zones extend to depth and are wide open for expansion. Drilling at Hard Rock continues to deliver strong results in multiple zones that are expected to add materially to our current gold resource," end quote. Then they go on in the news release. They have some more details about the F zone drilling, sort of the game plan of what they were focusing on there, some of the highlights. They have a table with all the drill results. They also have an image there that gives you an idea of how the zone looks at depth. It's a really good image to look at there. Then they talk about their F zone. They give the table with the drill results, their North Zone details, and then they have some more maps for you to click on there. So that's the key information from their press release that we wanted to talk about. We've been following Premier Gold for a long time, and some of the key reasons we like the company so much is. By the way, I forgot to mention in the disclosure that they are a banner sponsor for on our website. Almost forgot to put that in there. Forgot it in my notes. Sorry about that. Back to why we like Premier. They have one of their key focus areas. They kind of got 2 key focus areas. One is in their Red Lake area, and Red Lake is one of my favorite gold camps. It's high-grade gold camp. They've got a lot of great ground in that area. They've done a lot of drilling in the past, and they've hit a lot of high-grade gold. So they're in really good shape. They got Goldcorp as a partner in Red Lake. So they've got a really good situation developing in Red Lake. Then in the Geraldton area, they've been bringing this area along for the last couple of years. This Hard Rock project, and they're getting some very good results. They're looking for open pit type targets and underground higher grade targets. They've had a lot of success with the drilling, and it's really coming along quite nicely. So they got and then they've got other projects too. They got a project that's in close proximity to the Musselwhite mines. They got some other projects as well, and so they've got a really good portfolio of exploration to advanced exploration projects. And again, you can do your homework on the company on their website at premiergoldmines.com, and that's a good place to start your homework. And then again, also, if you just click on their banner on our website, and that'll take you to their website where you can do your homework. And so that's a wrap on our chat regarding Premier Gold. Next one I'm going to talk about today is, just got to flip my notes here. And the next company we're going to talk about today is Victoria Gold. I'll just got to do a little quick here, close off one website and bring up the other one. So Victoria Gold, on the disclosure, we're not shareholders of the company. They are a featured company in our Allan Berry Reports email newsletter. We started coverage of them on November the 2nd, 2009, which was the 26th edition of our report. And this is the first time they've been on our Allan Berry Reports TV. Their website is victoriaresourcecorp.com. That's VICTORIARESOURCECORP.com. I've got their website up here, and when you get there, you look for their media releases. And the news release that we're looking for was from September the 28th. The headline from that press release is Victoria Gold reports drill hole intercept of 30 meters grading 12.03 grams per ton gold from the Shamrock target in the Yukon. They go on and they give us some good details there. They provided exploration results from the 2010 summer program conducted at the company's 100% owned Dublin Gulch property in the Yukon Territory of Canada. They talk about some of the highlighted holes, like the one that they mentioned in the headline there. They had other holes with very, very good grades and thicknesses there. They talk about what they're doing in the immediate area around the Shamrock exploration target area. My partner here, Jackie Legs, my dog, he's making a little bit of noise. He likes to get into the show somehow all the time. But sorry about that. We'll get back to this press release. They talked about their exploration, and there's a quote from Chad Williams, who's the CEO and president of Victoria Gold, and he stated, and I quote, "The assay results from DG 10-377C exceeded our expectations and confirmed to us that the Dublin Gulch property hosts high gold grades." He goes on, "We expect to receive a large volume of additional exploration results from Shamrock in the near term. Over 400 samples from 7 other holes drilled at Shamrock are currently being assayed," end quote. Then they go into some details that I think are quite interesting. Is they talk about that they're coming into the end of the here it is. 2 diamond drill rigs are currently turning on the Dublin Gulch property. Drilling has historically shut down in October due to weather conditions. However, in order to extend the drilling season and start the preparation of the site for eventual mine construction upon the receipt of permits, the company has acquired and plans to install in Q4 2010 a 200-person all-season camp facility for a total cost of approximately $5 million. So that's all the key information from the press release. Now, some of the reasons that we like Victoria Gold and put them in our report is they have a really good portfolio of exploration projects. One of their key projects is this Dublin Gulch project, and you know, they've got more pending results to come out from their drilling. It's always a good sign when I see companies that are aggressively planning on working on their projects. And as they mentioned in their press release there, they're planning on putting a 200-man camp, all-season camp in there. So they definitely are working towards being aggressive in their exploration on that project. And the Yukon has got a lot of attention recently. One of the key things that caught that attention is one of our featured companies, a company called Underworld Resources, was taken over by Kinross at a nice premium, and that sort of caused a lot of interest towards gold exploration in the Yukon Territory. And so, Victoria Gold has a good project there, and they have a bunch of other projects. They're primarily focused on gold, We're very bullish on gold for the long term, and we really like what this company is doing. You can take a look at their website again, victoriaresourcecorp.com. And now, so that's a wrap on our chat regarding them. We're going to do a little break here, and then we're for the end of part 1 of today's show, and then we're going to start part 2. So if you're watching on the website, part 2 will start right away. Again, if you're watching on YouTube, just look for part 2. So we'll get right back to the show.